Hey, good afternoon. This is Dennis. This is the Sales Drive Home. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. It is a Thursday afternoon. That is like weekend pregame, man. You gotta get it lined up and ready. Today, I told you yesterday we were going to talk about, because I wanted to talk to you about the sign that I put on my truck, but I got to talk to you about a different thing. And this is not sales related, but I'm just thinking about all those people in Louisiana and Texas. So a million years ago, or however long it was, I was in Miami for Hurricane Andrew, and actually I was in Homestead, and so I was in Homestead for Hurricane Andrew. And I was actually working for Domino's Pizza at the time, and so I was going between stores and helping them fix stores. And one of the stores that I was in was just a little bit north of Homestead, right next to the Homestead Air Force Base, when there used to be a Homestead Air Force Base. But I guess every time a big hurricane comes, and I've been through several hurricanes. I lived in Miami. That's what you do. But ever since then, whenever there's a big hurricane, it's just, you get this, because it was a long recovery. Well, there was no recovery. In fact, we moved. That was a life-changing event for us. We moved. When something like that happens, it's a life-altering event. And life-altering events, they can be by choice, or they can be forced on you. If you're not doing what you love right now, if you're not happy doing what you're doing, then you need to do something else. You need to find something that makes you happy, that is truly what you were meant to do. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't know, Dennis, I don't know that I'm meant to do anything. I don't think I'm meant to do anything. I got into selling cars or selling whatever because I think I could make some money in it, but I don't know that I love it. If you don't know that you love it, get out. Because something like that, something like Hurricane Andrew for me, or something like the hurricane that went through Louisiana last night, something like that comes through and changes your life. And if you're not doing something that you love, then, well, for instance, back then I thought I loved it, but I'm a workaholic. I like to work. And so I was this store manager of the Domino's. We were shuffling around, and I would go in and help stores out, and worked all the hours, and really wasn't making a ton of money, but it was okay. But I didn't love it, because when that life-altering event happened to me, I didn't go back to it. I didn't move to Georgia and go right to Domino's Pizza and say, hey man, I was a store manager down there in Florida. Andrew knocked my store down. The only thing left of my store was the safe and the oven. Well, and the Coke cooler was on its side, but I still had that. No walls, nothing. So, but I didn't go when I'd move after 3 months or whatever of finally moving, I didn't get out of there and say, hey man, I've got to get back to Domino's, because I didn't love it. So if you think tomorrow a life-altering event is going to happen to you, if you think a hurricane's going to come and wipe out your house and reset your life, and you don't see yourself jumping right back into what you're doing, then why are you doing it? Find something you love and do it. And if it's not selling cars, that's okay. I'm okay. You don't hurt my feelings. Because things like that can happen. Boom, just like that. Have no clue. When that happened in Miami, I had no clue 2 days before then. Yeah, we knew there was a hurricane coming, blah, 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 a hurricane coming. We've had hurricanes before. We've stayed in hurricanes before. But 2 days before then, or 3 days before then, nobody knew. Not that was going through their day-to-day lives. So it can change just like that. Your life can just change. So you need to find something that you love. You need to find something that you can be good at and that just makes you happy. And yeah, you got to pay the bills. So whatever makes you happy, you need to figure out how to monetize it. But anytime a big storm comes through, that's what I do, man. That's what I did last night. I was up till, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning watching the Weather Channel, watching Jim Cantori and that other girl get all blown around, but it makes you flash back, and then it makes you kind of reconsider. It makes you consider, man, what am I doing? So that's my story. I didn't get to the sign today, but that's okay. The sign has something to do with what I love, and this is kind of what I love. I love selling cars. I love training people. I love doing those things that we do every day in this business. It is such a good business, but you gotta make it work, and you gotta understand that you just gotta understand the business. So stop that. Thank you for listening to me. I do want to say that this is pregame for the weekend. So if you don't have some appointments set up for your weekend, man, you got to hump it tomorrow. Get on it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Because we got to grind it out last weekend of the month. Just a couple of days left.